Hi, children. Good morning. I hope that you have read the lesson. Okay. Shall we recall the lesson? I will ask the questions. You just say answers. Okay. What is the name of the street which mentioned in the lesson? What is the name of the street which mentioned in the lesson? Yeah, Gates Avenue. And what kind of street it was? What kind of street it was? Ugly and dirty. Describe the street in your own words. Describe the street in your own words. Gates Avenue was a dirty and ugly street, right? The people who are living there were very poor. Their houses had not been painted for many years. They did not have running water, pavement, and no street light. Right? This is about the Gates Avenue street. And how many girls are coming from Gates Avenue? How many girls are coming from Gates Avenue? Yeah, only one girl. How was the girl? How was the girl? The girl's face was dirty and her hair was untidy. Her face was dirty and her hair was untidy, but the girl was pretty under the dirt. But the girl was pretty under the dirt. Why was the teacher unhappy? Why was the teacher unhappy? So, because the teacher was unhappy with her, she was pretty under her dirt. She was not even washing her face before come to school, so that the teacher felt unhappy. Right. What are the good qualities of the girl? What are the good qualities of the girl? Yeah, the little girl was hardworking girl and a friendly and polite girl, right? Yeah. What did the teacher ask the little girl? One day, what did the teacher ask the little girl? The teacher asked the little girl, won't she wash her face before come to school? So she asked to wash her face. She asked to wash her face. So did the girl wash her face? Did the girl wash her face? Yes, she washed. What did the teacher ask the little girl that afternoon before she went home? What did the teacher ask the little girl that afternoon before she went home? So the next day, the teacher asked the little girl to wash her face and to wash her dress. To ask her mother to wash her dress. Next, what did the teacher think about her mother? Yeah. What did the teacher think about her mother and why? Yeah, the teacher thought that her mother was not interested in her because of her mother did not wash her dress. That is girl's dress. So that okay. What did the teacher buy for the little girl? What did the teacher buy? Yeah, a new blue dress. What is the color of the dress? New blue dress. How did the child or girl take the dress? How did the child take the dress? The child took the dress eagerly and rushed to home happily. Right? These are the question. These are the answers, children. But I'm only orally only I'm saying answers. I'm not going to write answers. You have listened now, no? So that you write the answers for them in your CW. Go through the textbook once again and write the answers properly. And we continue the next part of the lesson. Okay, so that girl eagerly rushed to home, right? She rushed to the home, and the next morning she came to school in new blue dress. She was very happy, and she wore the dress, and she was very clean and tidy. She told her teacher, "What is it? My mother couldn't believe her eyes when she saw me this morning in my new dress." Yeah, so mother couldn't believe. That means the girl was so pretty. The mother was surprised to see her, and her father was not at home. But she told that definitely he would see her at supper time. Right. She was full of excitement to see that new blue dress. Right? Okay. And next, when her father saw her in her new blue dress, he was amazed to find that she had a very pretty little girl. When the family ate supper, he was even more amazed to see a cloth on the kitchen table. The family had never used tablecloth before. So when the father saw her in the new blue dress, then he was realized that how pretty her daughter. That was the first time to him. And then he was more amazed to see that a cloth on the kitchen table. So that means they are not interested to clean themselves. So that was the first time for them. Okay, the family had never used a tablecloth before. So that was the first time. And we are going to begin to be trio here, his wife said. I am ashamed to be dirty when our daughter is so clean. So when they saw their daughter in a blue dress, so pretty and so clean, then they felt ashamed. They were ashamed. So they have decided to be trio and neat. Okay. After supper, the mother began to wash the kitchen floor. Her husband watched silently for several moments. Then he went outside to begin to repair the fence. The next evening, with the family's help, he began to make garden. And then, so the mother washed the kitchen floor, and the husband was just simply watching. So then he decided the next morning they started repairing their fencing, and they started making a beautiful garden, right? And during the following week, the man in the next house watched what his neighbor was doing, and by the end of the week the man began to paint his house for the first time in 10 years. A few days later, the young minister of church near the Gates Avenue passed these two houses and saw two men working. For the first time, he noticed that there was no payment on Gates Avenue, and no street light, and no running water. So, see that during the following week, when this man or the little girl's father began to repair their fencing and to make a garden, then the next man who was living there, so he was inspired by him, and then he started painting. So That was the first time to paint his house in 10 years. So after a few days, the young minister of the church, the Gates Avenue, passed two houses and saw that two men were working. So that was the first time he observed that there was no street light for them and no running water, and even they don't have payment also. So he they don't have payment also. So the young minister recognized that, and then he think that people who are trying so hard make decent homes here deserve help. So the young minister thought that they need some help. So he asked some important citizens in the city to help them, okay, to raise funds to help them. So likewise, they started to live in a better way. A few months later, because of the young minister, there was a payment on Gates Avenue, there was a street light on the corner, and the houses had running water. So, likewise, they got payment on the Gates Avenue and street light and running water also. So 6 months after the little girl, her got new blue dress. Gates Avenue had become a tidy street where respectable citizens lived. See that here, children, the small girl or the teacher had done something to the girl that is presented to the girl, and when her parents see her, they were realized that how they have to be, and seeing them, the next man inspired, and then he started working. So when that minister saw that the people are working, he thought that so they need some help. So likewise, the new blue dress inspired them to live in a better way, right? And not only this one, and when people in other places heard the story of Gates Avenue, they began to organize their own cleanup campaigns. Since 1913, more than 7,000 towns and cities have organized campaigns for painting and repairing homes and making better lives for people who live in them. So, seeing this Gates Avenue, or who heard the story of Gates Avenue, and they too started cleanup campaigns. So, likewise, more than 7,000 towns and cities have organized campaigns for painting and repairing homes and making better lives for people who live there. So, likewise, the small help inspired a lot and it changed a lot. So this is the story about the new blue dress, and this is real story, children. It's not a false story. It is a real, children, real. And see that they have given a particular place and year, all those. So it is a real dress. So who knows what will happen when a teacher gives a little girl a new blue dress? So who knows what you can do? So if you get any chance to help others to do something, just do. Okay, definitely it will be back, sure, right? Okay, children, once again you go through the lesson and write the answers for the given question answers, and go through write the meanings for the hard words also, children.